see? Get it? Because it's a C. C. Okay, sorry. Do you... Also known as the pirate's favorite letter. Because you might think a pirate's favorite letter is R. But no. His first love will always be the C. Okay. Yo, dude, like, shut up. Yeah, okay. So, okay. Here's the grand plan. Allow me to explain the grand plan. Okay. So, because of what, the stuff that I kind of toyed around with yesterday, the goal is going to be to make, I would say, minimum 4 voices plus a bass voice, but maybe more. We'll see. Okay, and have all of those notes playing at unrelated speeds. Okay, so we're gonna get off of the clock basically. We'll put the clock at like a 80, mid-slow kind of a tempo here. Oh, I haven't started the clock yet. I was like, man, the melodizers are going awfully fast. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and now they're all good. So we're gonna basically not really hold to the clock, okay? But everything is going to shift chords where we need to, okay? Including the R bar, all right? And that's going to be interesting because I think the bass is going to be randomized, but I know there's a way to do it, and it has to do with velocity. So each layer, or I should say each note, will have its own velocity output, and then that velocity will go to change the layer of the R bar. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. I've done it before. It's a little tricky. It's not horrible. It takes a little while to kind of tune what you're doing though. So let's get the show on the road. I got like the sequencer view here going down, which by the way on the mirrorless camera just looks so damn nice. Now I'm curious. Oh, more light is good, but maybe the display becomes even more incomprehensible. But more light is good for me, so I'm going to leave that on. Then we're going to go back to our regular scheduled view here of my giant bald head and my really, really nice headphones. Hi. Okay. Let's do the thing here. Let's do the thing here. All right. Step 1. Let's set up a bass voice. We're here. We're in the bass. I'm gonna make this 16 notes long. Okay, and we're gonna put these guys at, let's say, 2 whole notes. I think that'll be good. I think it'll be good. And for now, actually, I'm going to speed that up for now because what I want to deal with is get the R bar going right away. Okay, so let's just find a bass voice and kind of go with it. What are you? You are coming from the sequencer. Okay, so you're not doing anything now anyway, so fine. Will this reach? Nope, it won't. You know, let's use chainsaw. Because, you know, it'd be kind of cool to use the Oscar Trio for something other than a sub-octave giant swarm of deliciousness. Are you gonna reach? Maybe. I might. Yeah, actually. It's a good amount of play in there. Good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Brother gonna need a filter. Okay, I don't know what you're doing. You're jumping the gun here. Going all crazy with the cheese whiz. This seems logical. Duh, that sounds logical. Alright, typical. Channel 8. There you go. Okay. Gates on. All gates on. We may not gate this at all. Alright, so that's where we're at. Oh, y'all... I hear some differences between the left side and the right side. Why? Oh, that tiny little knob is just a little bit off. A little bit of resonance, just enough to kind of give it some... So you hear that little mid kind of thing that comes up, right? Okay, so this is our sort of our base level C3 here. What I want to do though is put this on where we're gonna go C major. Okay, we're gonna go ultra basic here. So we've got 6 layers for the R bar. So then the question becomes, okay, we got 6 layers. What are we gonna use them for? We need chords, you know? So I was like, I don't want 6 different chords. Maybe what we do is we do 2 different C's. Do like a C major 7, nice open airy, kind of a nice sound like that, you know? And then it leaves 4 more. So F, G, A minor, D minor. Seems like that's an okay choice. Seems like that would work all right. So yeah, that's kind of where this is size. This needs to be all the way on the right, and that should be cleared, by the way. I think it is. Okay. So now it is time to shut that off, and like literally thinking about the R bar right away from the beginning. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take a velocity out from that part 1 from the vector. Hey, Etherlife. Right, so vector part 1 is doing my bass. This velocity out is going to go to the layer control. And right now, if I look at velocity, oh, everything is turned up by default. That makes sense. So there should be nothing happening right now. Okay, so if I take the first thing and I go, I'm going to click 3 times. These are soft click knobs, so they go thud, thud, thud. If I click 3 times, it's still on the blue layer. 4 times? There. 4 clicks turns this guy pink. Okay? So this is the key, right? That way, every step has its own R-bar layer associated with it. All right? And then I had another thought, by the way, and that is, because of the nature of these voltages that tend to scale, so like, for example, if you go like 6 layers, right? Hey, Tachyonic. 6 layers on the R-bar is like C3, G3, C4, G4, C5, G5. If you give it a C6, it goes all the way back around again. So does the harmony input of the barred quartet. You feel me? Okay. So what we should be able to do also, and I might not do this tonight, but we should be able to have other Foley generative voices also changing key and chords with everything else. Theoretically, this should be possible. And I'll tell you what my big mistake has been thinking of this in terms of how do I control where the barred quartet goes. That's the mistake. What you do is you find each layer and you say, okay, hey, it's playing an A minor, so then whatever layer is being selected on here, and there's 8, then you just switch that layer to an A minor, right? And I think there's a little bit of hoping and praying that those 2 voltages don't overlap and a chord calls up a different thing. But that might be able to be gotten around as well, you know? So, like, if you give it really high velocity, it might swoop the knob around all the way on the R bar to get to its destination, and maybe it brings it to a different place on the barred quartet. So I'm like trying to, it's literally, it's math and it's trial and error. There's no other way to deal with it. So let me fire up Reason and let's get some chords going. Tell you what I really liked last time was using those Mellotron choirs. And I'm like, I don't really want the choir again. It was actually a little bit harsh. I'll tell you what, man. The inputs on the R bar and the Luba, like, it's cool how they make it work, but man, they are really twitchy and sensitive. And I put Reason 14. I upgraded, and I upgraded Piano Tech. I now have Piano Tech version 9. And I got the electric piano plugin for that, and that's kind of exciting, to be honest. I played it a little bit on the first day. It sounds, it's Piano Tech, so it sounds phenomenal. Like, it sounds amazing. But man, it is a weird layout. It's on a Farfisa organ. Oh, let me enable that. Oh wait, the Rhodes is hooked up too. Ow! Okay, anyways, I don't want to use a Farfisa organ sound though. I wanted to use Mellotron strings, actually. Where's my fucking rack? Bro, oh, there it is. Okay, so this is weird. Reason 9 is, or 14 is gonna be weird. And, yeah. It takes a second to... Wow, this is weird. Reason refills. No. What I am looking for is... I don't need any tags. All locations. What? Reason Factory Sound Bank, NN19. Okay, there we go. Good. The browser's a little weird. It's different. It's very, very, very different than it used to be. So that's going to take a while. Okay, so there's our sound. We need to plug in this thing. And I am going to do a thing. Because every single time I record these, I hear background clicks and pops, and that comes from my microphone getting routed through there. I am literally going to unplug this, which means you're going to hear a pop, which means I'm going to mute the microphone. See you in a couple of minutes. That should do the trick. Okay. Hey, Mac Joe! I'm like, what happened to all my purple patch cables? Duh. I love these little cables. These are slimline, like silicone. It's all molded together, but man, they are so much. Look how much smaller they are than like a typical connector. That's just a regular like HOSA cable. It's like 1/3 the size, and honestly, it makes a difference. It absolutely makes a difference. They're not an easy thing to find. I guess the guy who has sort of taken up the mantle of making them, distributing whatever the heck is going on, is Heinekroon. And Heinekroon is the guy who made like the covers for like your Behringer synths that you can get, like basically stickers. I got one for my Neutron, and it was okay. It didn't quite fit perfectly, so it was a struggle. But it looks nice and it's neat. You know, it's just a neat little happy thing, I guess. It's nothing major. But I went on the website trying to be like, hey, dude, can I just buy like, can I buy quantity? I don't think they're Create Audio, no. But yeah, I seriously wanted to just buy like, dude, just give me like 20 of each color that you make, like this long, and then this long, and then make me like 5 of each color that are like 50% longer than this, and then like 5 of each color that are half that length. Just give me a whole suite of cables. Just do it, you know? That would be neat. I would enjoy that. We should have sound. Of course we do. It's a little tiniest bit crackly. And at some point I found them on Amazon, and they were just some generic Chinese maker slimline Eurorack patch cables, blah blah blah. Okay. Now it is time to sink into some bass notes. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is D. So D is going to have to be the third layer right here. So I need velocity to be, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go 5. Nope, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's way too, what the smeg? It's way too far. Still too far. Okay, it's sensitive. That's the thing. It's very sensitive. So now, if we do the first step, boom. Yeah. Well, and then too, you've got these little guys. These little stingers. These have the same connectors. And they also made me a bunch of really long mamma jammas with the same molded like silicone connectors, you know. And while they may not be the most durable patch cable in existence, I mean, I don't know, I've maybe had 5 cables ever, you know, break on me and cause shenanigans. Okay, so next note is going to be F. Oh, that's right. I got it. I got it right away. Yeah, locked into it is what I did. And then we'll go G here. And then we'll go A minor, but let's do the G first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. D, F. That did not work. Nope. I need to go up 2 more layers. No, there it is. There's F. Nope. 1 more. 2, 3, 4. There's our G. And then for the last one, we have an A. Ooh, missed it. Nope, a little bit higher. 1 more click. Boom. A. Wait. Seems like I have 2 F layers on here now. Which this
Should be a G. Nope. There's the G. That's still a G. We could do two Gs. This is all probability. Okay, I think that's it. So now we turn this back to real slow. 2 whole notes. Random. Okay. Hey, Okami. Yeah, Heinekroon is the guy that makes them now, right? But they're like all out of stock. I went on their website and it was like nothing. They had nothing. It was really unfortunate.
Okay, so now if I add bass to this, and now we just let it go. And what I want to do is take a few of these later C's and change them to the pink layer. So I'm going to give them a tiny bit of velocity in a few places. Oh, it's working. There's a pink layer. Beautiful. I put out another firmware update. It's still beta, but there's 15 new features. Fuck. Okay, I think the bass part is set and ready to go. Right now, at least, the challenge is, how do I make this bass track change all of the other notes? God damn it. It doesn't. It can't. It can't because the subsequence is locked to its own thing. So if you use a subsequence for this, it's not gonna work. Fuck. Damn it. We might still be able to do this with the quantizer. Let's figure this out with the quantizer. Okay, so first thing is I'm going to take it off of random. And then I need to duplicate the... What could we use? Could use Yellow Boy. Gack. Yeah, just do it like so. Okay, so whatever velocity is going into the R bar to change the level, let's make sure that that still works correctly. We'll put this on half note. D. I want to listen to it and make sure that it's still good. Yeah, the Mellotron strings are really good on the R bar. D. F. G. G again. A. And then C. Good. Okay, so it still works. You know, the thought is like, oh, you duplicate a signal, then you're going to lose voltage at the result. You know? I'm not sure if that's true or not. Okay, so this is number one. So what we're going to do is really quickly go through a couple of these steps. This is D minor, D, F, A. I might add a seventh later on. That's a G. Okay, now here's the question. Did the D and the F have two different signals? I don't think it did. Yeah, see, they were the same. That's okay. Because part of F major is a D minor 7 without a D. So that'll all work. G, and now A minor. Oh, I didn't go up. Damn it. Okay, can we give it a tiny bit more velocity on that step to make it go up to a new level, but still keep the R bar level on the purple? Here we go. It's the fifth one. It did, but it didn't change. It didn't change deuter over there. Let's give it one more click. And this one went all the way back around. God damn it. Damn your eyes. Can we scale it? Will that help if we add like an offset voltage to it? It's worth a try. And that's easy because it's this guy right here. So what I'm going to do is go with the junction, right? I'm going to turn up. These guys are all additive. So this is the whole signal, and then this is going to add a little tiny bit of offset voltage if I plug in the one on the bottom. Okay. And then we'll see. Okay, which means I'm going to have to completely redo everything that I just did, which is fine. There's D minor. That's fine. There it is. F. Ah, see? It has changed. There's F. Damn it, that's G. Wait a minute. I don't think it'll work. So we could put this as an A minor for now as just a placeholder, but I think that's number 3 and not the one that I want. It's funny that it's the G that is the issue here. You'd think it would be easier. Well, let's see if we just give it more voltage, what happens. Just a little bit more. So we'll go back to G or D. See, that's not D. That's an F. There's our F. damn it, man. Yeah, it comes down to the distance, I think, between F and G in terms of voltage is too small. Okay, I'm going to try one last thing, and this is going to be weird. We're going to put that voltage into a VCA. Okay? And then I am going to use the voltage itself to modulate itself with CV. So we duplicate this one more time, and we just bring it into the CV in. Boom. And then we turn this up to whatever mid-level that we want. Okay, but I do want the boost to be pretty big. And then make sure that it's on a linear curve, or although maybe it would work better without. Okay, here we try one more time. Here we go. D, F. Nope, it didn't change. Let me crank this up. Yep. The curve makes a big difference. There's D, F, oh, and it's the same one. I can't, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I can't get it to differentiate between C and, or in between F and G. It just doesn't work. Even with the curve all the way to like logarithmic, it just does not do the trick. Motherfucker. That is really, really annoying. Okay, then all of this dumb rigmarole is completely pointless. I guess I'm just going to have to just deal with it the way it is, and that sucks because if I've got generative notes being made, then they are not going to be made correctly. Yeah, so my whole idea kind of relied on these things all actually working together. Problem number one is that the vector, there is no way to unhook the subsequencer or like chain the subsequencer to the steps. You know what I mean? Hey, you can. You just have to make the hard choices and do the hard work. It takes work. It's very difficult. Okay. I'm just trying to figure this problem out. This is a funky nut to try to crack here, and man, it's kind of irritating. Now, the other thing that could be done, the other thing that you could do is can we use... I have used the vector to modulate itself. Okay, it does not work very well. So... Okay, so if we go here and we just say, let's say we go like 3, 4. All right, you know what? The first thing I want to do is set up like a really basic little signal. I don't know what I'm saying. Basic little arpeggio kind of a thing. Let's just do like a 6-note little arpeggio guy. Well, here's the thing, right? I am trying to make all of my voices change with the bass notes, okay? So as the bass note changes to like F, then I want my note choices on all of my parts to switch and transpose to like an F major happy chord, right? But it's not going to. Because what does those changes is the subsequencer, but the subsequencer it just go you can't randomize it, you can't do anything with it. You can, but it's on its own thing. So when the bass notes change, you're not going to change unless the subsequencer perfectly changes to the right note. Right? Because it's just independent. And I'm like, is there a way to lock that? You know? Be like, hey, don't go to this, like, go to this step when this part goes to this. God. I just can't do it. Like, it's not possible to do that. And I'm bashing my head against the wall trying to, like, get it to work. And it just does not work. And it really cheeses me off. But... anywho, we're going to do what we can. We have some quantizer stuff going on. That's not perfect, but it's kind of working. So we could throw in a couple of parts using the quantizer and, go with it that way. So let's just get a quick little guy patched up. Now, this does not have to be complex, because the other thing I wanted to do today is have parts that were just sort of floating, just doing their own thing, right? They're not on the clock. They're just at their own pace, which is actually something that the Vector does really well. It's got multiple types of, like, speed adjustments and such. So, there's a lot of ways to make it work. Okay, by the way, this dude. Oh, it's you. Yeah, I don't know if there's a different tool. People talk about the whatchamajigger, performer. The performer sequencer, which supposedly does similar things to that. I think it's going to be more of a feature request. Like, I need to reach out to Jim Coker, the guy who built the Vector, his company, 512 Systems. I need to reach out to him and be like, hey, I have I think a really important feature request, and, hook a brother up, man. And, like, he probably would. But that means I gotta go on Discord. I hate Discord. We need an envelope. I don't hate Discord. I just don't have room. I don't have room for Discord. Like, it's too much. It's like you either have to, like, dive into it or just not do it at all. And I opt for the second. People are like, hey, you should have a Discord for your channel. Like, that would mean that I would have to do something in that Discord, and I don't want to. Okay, you know, basic. We don't need no +6 there. I'm like, you sound like a sawtooth, but you don't, or you don't? You sound like a square wave? Okay. Yeah, same here. Okay, so number one, we pull this off of the clock. We do percentage of the beat, or we can do speed. I think speed would be okay. And then we're also going to modulate the crap out of a bunch of these things. So what I want to do right now is set that up. Okay, I want to take my really slow sloths. Actually, we'll use the triple sloths because it's easier to see the lights. Like, for no other reason than that. So I'm going to take my inertia, which is the slowest of the sloths, and we're going to go into the external 1. Okay. And then we go to this page and we say source external 1, target. What do we want? Target pitch 2. It's on negative voltages, that's why. P712 is actually cool because then it only does fifths and octaves, which is really nifty. Okay, but the other thing I wanted to do is go external 1 to rate. We'll start that at 50 for now. So the sloths is controlling the transposition and the speed of all of the parts. Okay, so speaking of which, I'm going to go on to part 1, which is my bass, and I'm going to go and do the same thing. We're going to go external 1, rate at 50. Okay, I'm not going to have it transposed because bass, shouldn't probably do that. But we'll do the same thing for this guy. We'll go external 1, rate. I think I had 50 on both of these. So this 50 is going to be for pitch 712 and external 1. Okay. And this is already sort of patched. It's this dude, it's that guy, he's going here, he's doing that thing, but I don't have any gates on, so we'll just do an 8-step. should be getting things. Oh, that's right. I didn't put this on speed. But let's put it a little bit higher than the one before. Sloth's making it speed up. Cool. I was like, it's doing the opposite of what I would have expected, but that's fine. You just adjust it. Let's do a part 5 now. Same sort of thing. So we're going to go external 1 is going to go to pitch 2, 50. And again, external 1 to rate. We'll go minus 50 for the sensitivity of that. And we're going to put this on speed. Go a little bit faster than the last one. Okay. So all y'all... Shut up! I kill you! So everything just... yeah, just stop. Now we need to make another part with some sort of oscillator. And then I also want to make a chord part. God damn it. Damn it. I keep thinking like I almost have it. I almost have it. Like oh, if I just did, and then something else pops into my head of like, nope, that won't work. I'm like, okay. I'm saying, I'm looking at my other vector over here, going, you know, didn't I kind of do this same exact thing with the other vector by just taking a volt per octave and just putting it into itself? And I've done that on this one, and it doesn't work very well. It has huge, huge issues. Because if you did that, then the parts would kind of be linked, right? Oh, if it goes to a G, then it's automatically changing and transposing stuff to that, you know. Yeah, it doesn't really work that way. So, I don't know. We do what we can. And then I thought, well, hey, we do have a quantizer, right? So if we go really long green cable to, let's just say channel 1, input, and then output to, I don't know, we'll use maybe like black and blue. But can we put that guy in like chord mode and have it not be all ginormous? Can we just put it on like, oh, you know what? It's not going to work. I know it's not going to work because I've tried it before. So we'll use the ensemble oscillator on fifths. Because fifths are ace. Fifths blend with everything. Oh, you know what though? This guy could be our... This. Yeah, this could be our cosmic debris voice. Because, I mean, come on, you need one, at least one. Probably not 100% wet though. That might be a little adventurous right now. Maybe. Will you reach? Will you reach? Will you reach? Will you reach? I think it'll reach. Oh my gosh, it'll reach. Buzz. This is the okay. We should flip these then, because this one is the bottom one, and this is the top one. Look at that. See, that's the other thing is those things are just a little bit longer than almost every other patch cable, and 100% worth it. Okay, so let's just use a Quadrax envelope because it's kind of like right there, and that way we've got it all sort of centralized. Let's use channel 2. Do I have one more green neon? I don't! No! We're gonna break the color coordination by... No, I guess already did, so. Into FM thing. Do-wacky. Slow swell kind of a thing. Alright, what's this thing gonna be here? Actually, I want the rate lower. I want this to be kind of the slow boy. And we'll make it, let's just make it like four notes long. We'll keep it super easy. Make it 5 notes long. We'll do a high C on the end. Okay, tiny gate. So if we do the thing, and then nothing happens because your volume is turned down. Okay, what do we got? It's a little much. Probably don't need that. Alright, what do we got? Hey, Martin. And then, of course, we... Now, I gotta say, let's do a thing, too. Bro, I hit stop. What are you not stopping for? What are you doing? I want to do a thing with this sloths, right? Because this sloths is doing our slothy business for the vector, but we can also tap it and go into the Zork strip in, let's say, the purple trace here, and distribute said voltage amongst many, many things. Yes, indeed. But yeah, seriously. So for example, this could easily go to, what would be cool? Oh, you know what would be cool? Would be the feedback control on the thing. Cosmic debris. Feedback. Yeah. Because in fact, let's declockify the cosmic debris also. Just let it do its thing. What do? You press shift and like tap or something, or do you hold this thing for free? I forget. I think now it's like free running until you give it a clock. Okay, so then theoretically it should get. Yeah, it is. So it's turning like a lighter pink color when it's like less feedback. So like as it turns down, it'll dim, and then it'll go brighter to yellow when it's infinite, and it goes red when it starts adding to the feedback. Okay? So we don't want that to happen very often. You know? What's happening is I'm running my head up against the vector again, trying to make everything work together, and it's all just kind of giving me the finger, and now it is doing a D minor. Okay, dude, that was awesome. But what I need to do is go back to the first one and turn this rate sensitivity way the fuck down on the bass. Okay, that's actually really cool. All of that stuff is really cool. Now let's throw sloths number 2 here in the red trace. And that's going to be the apathy one. But you know what? I tell you what. We should also CV modulate. Yo, dog. I heard you like sloths. So we put sloths in your sloth so that you can sloth while you sloth. Bruh. So in other words, this apathy sloths is now affecting something, or sorry, this is an inertia, so the really slow one. This is affecting something in the apathy. They don't really explain what it does. It's very mysterious. But this guy can go, the red trace guy can go into filters. So let's put filter on him, and let's put... I'm going to not use purple. I'm going to use red, because I have a lot of red. And it's the red trace, which should tell me, hey, do mas. 1, 2. This dude. Doink. Actually, we can go into the regular FM in and just turn it up. The regular FM in with an attenuator, it has a lag time. It's the weirdest thing. Vegan beer? Yeah, isn't beer by its nature vegan? Needs more dog. Name the origin. Do it. Go. Somebody. Do it. Say it. You know you want to. We got another filter though that we can manipulate with this particular signal. So let's do that. And let's put that into Deward on the filter on the base. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 3 voices. Yeah, part 3, 4, and 5. Let's add a part 7 as well. So setting up the CVs again. This is external 1, and it's going to go to, oh yeah, pitch. We'll do pitch 2 by just a small amount, not a huge amount. And then this is going to go external 1 to rate at -50. And then the rate is going to be, make this guy a little bit on the quicker side. Okay. No, the ensemble oscillator is by 4ms. And that's a really common knob style. You see them here on the font also. Sort of like Dope knobs in a way. They're super common. They're like all over the place. Even these guys, my basic attenuator and stuff, the Sloths has the same style. They're, yeah. Okay. What do we not have? We don't have a yellow voice. We also don't have a red voice, but that's okay. Let's do a yellow voice. So this is coming from Zcal Dimension. Let's go into the black and blue because this is going to be a mono part, so I don't have to worry about losing amplitude because of, stupid. Because of I'm a digital module, so I don't want to put out another level for you. Yeah. Which, I mean, in reality, it's not really in anybody's control. Let's put it into the Holocene delay on a maybe like a ridiculous delay. Not quite full ridiculous, because this thing will go to like 15 seconds of delay time, and like that's just not musical, is it? Unless we put it on like near endless feedback and a really sparse like part, so that it just keeps like like it keeps balling up and clumping. I don't know what I'm saying. Neither does anybody else. So yeah, let's go long delay. Lots of feedback, but not all the way up. Not infinite. Actually though, right now, let's do the opposite. Let's turn everything down so that I can actually hear what's going on. Play. And you get nothing! No, just kidding. It's just... Yeah. Okay, it's already getting transposition data from the sloths, because that should be a D right now. That should be... Oh, and it's also getting rate data. Okay, I'm going to switch this to a pluck. No sustain. Like 35-35 is usually good. A little tail end. Okay, and then we can give it some nav to the wavetables because, you know, it sounds freaking phenomenal. Like I said. And then a slower one into the wave folder. Just a little bit though. I don't want a huge amount on that because it gets kind of obnoxious. As I said. Okay, I kind of want that up an octave too. And it's probably a little bit fast. Alright, let's do one other thing with this and give it a subsequence. Kind of a slower one, quarter note, I suppose. Which is weird because it's not on it's not on a quarter note clock or anything. It's just I make my own tempo. Shut up. And we'll just go like we'll go super basic. We'll bring it up to like Fs. And then like A minor. And then we'll go down to like a G. So we'll make it 5 steps long. 6 steps long. And not random, just like doing its thing. Yeah, I've looked around for stuff that's similar to those Fractiosolums, and there are actually a few that I've seen. Oh, let's see, this is way too fast. Let's go whole note.
Be careful what you shoot in there, Ryan. Some things do not react well to bullets.
Yeah, me! I don't react well to bullets. It is some gripping dialogue, am I right? Back to normal. So you can hear what the Sloths is doing right away. Oh, Bex me. Yeah, trust me, this has been so many frustrations. Okay, now let's engage the delay.
Engage.
Okay, let's also throw the Sloths into the delay time on this. I'm blind! Time scrub. Yeah, because this is a non-destructive delay. It doesn't pitch shift when you change the time. But we'll give it negative Sloths. So when this Sloths goes up, we should hear all of the parts get faster, all of the filters get brighter. And this guy, the delay time, is going to get shorter. Feel me? Let's throw it all together and see what happens. Let this guy just play. It needs more reverb, though. I'm going to fire up my video synth, too, because why the hell not? Let's zoom you in just a hair. Look at that. There's still another vector right there. You don't know how much I want to just, like, right now, just, like, take the pitch, the volt per octave, and just be like, gonk, and then run all of the parts off of the second vector. But I just want to try it the way it is first. Before I get too nuts with this whole thing. This quest. This fucking mountain I'm trying to climb. Alright. Should be playing. Oh, except I don't have things turned on because I'm a dummy. I'm a dumbhead dummy. Careful if you're photosensitive, because I'm going to turn into trippiness. Let's change this envelope up a little bit. Make it something weird. Oh, is this the same one? No, this is flip-flopped. God damn it, that's fine. Yeah. Hey, Swizzle Circuits. I was gonna say, I didn't see my video sensing the sound very much. Now it does.
part 5. Why you no do nothing?
God's filter was getting slothed. This is the cosmic debris voice. That's an easy choice. I've got an MCO and the marbles in here, both of which, whatever. And there's perfect room. I think there's 16 HP with those two. Or 14, I forget. So, yeah. That was mostly sloths that chilled everything right there. So I was like, yeah, let's just roll with it. Yeah, a joystick would be interesting because you could actually do all of the transposition control from the joystick. Because I used to do it with a Melodicer. And honestly, it worked really well with the old Vector. So there's four different settings, okay? There's pitch octave, obvious. Pitch 7/12, which only goes up fifths and octaves, okay? There's pitch 5, which is a 5-octave range in terms of sensitivity, and then there's pitch 2, which is a 2-octave range, okay? Pitch 5 is supposed to be like not super usable. And it really kind of isn't super usable on the Mark II. Pitch 2 is supposed to be like usable for that, but I found I had to run the Melodicer through my precision adder and bring it down like a ninth or something. It was really weird. Like, I got it to match. So, like, if you turn up the slider for D on the Melodicer, everything would start playing in D, And it wasn't perfect. It sometimes didn't work, and it's just a little dicey. Now, here's the thing. Again, as I've said, the old Vector, it worked perfectly. So, honestly, I think I'm going to have to do something about that. And I don't know what that's going to be. The simple thing would be to take the expander, which is right here, and put it like right here so that it could actually go to some of the oscillators in here. And then, the whole thing can just kind of be branched out from there. You could easily do it. I don't want to take the Mark II out of the rack, though. What I need to do is update it, and I need to talk to Jim about a way to... Oh, dude, did you just get here? I just chilled out. I'm just like ending. Yeah, I don't think it's a calibration thing. I think it's internal. It's a software-based thing. And I'm like, why can't you just make it like the old one? You want to throw everything together? One more hurrah here. We'll blast it all together. Sounds to me like it's chilled. This is all very machine controlled, okay? It's all controlled by a really slow voltage source, drifting up and down. So, yeah. If I can get the concept that I want to work, it will be an epic day. Well, all from a single brain and from a single machine. So, I mean, it's kind of programming in a way. It's not really programming, but it's sort of programming. It's like planning on all of these different things to all sort of have effects based on like one modulation source is super super cool for one. Um, but yeah, the whole slow down speed up thing, that was pretty choice actually. That kind of awesome. Like somebody made a suggestion the other day of like using like a one note sequence, and I was like, it's actually not a horrible idea. Especially if you're giving modulation to like transpose it. It would be interesting. Anyways, I'm out of here. And probably not till Friday. So, yeah, puzzle solving is absolutely right. It is. It's pretty cool when it works. So, this kind of worked. The only one that was really stubborn and it didn't totally play along right is the Bard Quartet. And I started to think, okay, so what if we split the velocity signal, right? And yeah, that is true. But I was thinking about it, like there's actually I should have just done this from the start. Split the velocity signal, okay? Take one into the R bar, like run it through an attenuator maybe first and put it into the R bar, right? And then like at least calibrate the first couple of things. Like there's got to be a way to balance those two signals so that one works more, right? Because it comes down to the Bard Quartet has 8 harmony parts and the R bar only has 6 layers. So I'm assuming they sort of take 5 volts and divide it up between chukka 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 chukka, and that's how it's sensitive to that, or that's how it knows. In which case, you know, yeah, it is. It's kind of annoying. But what it is I'm trying to use the same voltage to control both devices, but they're controlled in different ways. So that's kind of what it comes down to. And I wonder if I played with it a little bit more, if I could actually get it to work. I bet you I could. Run one through an attenuator, run one through, you know, even a VCA. You could throw it into a VCA, or I can throw it into the junction, run an offset voltage with it. There's a lot of things. There's almost too many variables. But I bet you a simple attenuator on maybe the one for the R bar, because that'll give more of a range to the Bard Quartet. So instead of me turning, you know, the velocity knob up like click, click, oh, now we're on a huge, like, it'll kind of rein that in a little bit, and I'll be able to use higher voltages to kind of access everything better. I don't know. It's worth a try, though. So maybe next time in a midweek ambient adventure. But anyways, I'm out of here. And thanks for joining me. And yeah, if you just came in at the tail end, you know, you should go back and hear the whole thing. And if you're into nerdy patching stuff, then watch the whole stream. So